Hello. Good morning, everyone. So I'm just waiting for some people to join. So we have some joining. So I'm doing a live today on the liver. So I just want to get a few people. How is everyone today? Absolutely gorgeous here again in Arizona. Time to get outside. So definitely going to be outside this morning, but just waiting for some of you to join because I want to talk about a really, really important subject today, and that's your liver. So I've had a lot of questions. A lot of you have sent me questions about the liver, what to do about the liver, how to support the liver, how the liver is involved in your health. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And it's a very, very, very important subject, your liver. So let's talk about it. So the liver, which is in your tummy here, is it plays a role in every single system. So it has multiple functions. Okay, so the liver will clean your blood. It'll support your immune system. It aids in digestion, which means that it's really important in absorbing nutrients. So when you go out and you eat a healthy meal, the whole goal is to absorb nutrients, and so the liver is a big part of that. The liver is also able to regenerate, which is cool, which shows you how important the liver is to your health. In fact, if you have any symptom, it could be anything. It could be hormones, hormone irregularities, thyroid irregularities, gut irregularities, heart problems, whatnot. I guarantee you, if you have something going on in your health, your liver is playing a role in it. And by focusing on your liver and paying attention to your liver, you can actually feel better. It helps with everything. So I want to talk today a little bit about how you can do that. Another thing, as I'm sure you guys have heard me say ad nauseum now, stress impacts the way that your liver functions. Okay, so your liver is always working because it always has to be clearing toxins. It has to be recognizing threats. It's almost like, it's kind of like a colander. If you pour stuff into it and all the water comes out, you're sifting through things in the liver, and that includes everything. So that includes hormones as well. It includes medications. It includes just toxins in the environment, things that you breathe in, things that you eat. When you are under stress, right? When you're under stress, your liver isn't able to do some of the everyday functions. So it has to prioritize. And so that's where a lot of these, quote, liver backups happen, or a lot of the sources of inflammation come from the body not being able to properly detoxify. Now, there's a lot going on right now, and a lot of us are under stress. I get it. And we're all kind of stuck at home. And to me, it seems like a logical time for us to focus on the liver, try to support the liver, and start to clear some of those toxins and backups right now because we're at home and we're able to do so. Another huge part of this is that the foods that detoxify the liver are the ones you can find at the grocery store right now. So when you walk into, at least in Arizona, when you walk into the produce section, the outer edges of all the fresh green vegetables, red vegetables are all available. We can't get canned goods as well, and we can't get dried goods or frozen goods, but we can certainly get green leafies, right? So this would be a really good time to start to incorporate liver support into your routine. Liver works the best when your stress is managed and you have time to rest and digest, and then it works the best when you support it. Now, of course, there are tons of herbs, amino acids, and such that you can take to support the liver, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But the easiest thing to do is to incorporate it into your diet. So I want to talk about a couple of the foods that you can absolutely incorporate right now into your diet to support your liver. Number one, the beet. Now, many of you are probably looking at me saying, ew, a beet. And I can't say that I argue with you much. Beets are definitely an acquired taste, but what's great about them is they're highly versatile and you can grow them. Because they grow underground in Arizona, it's fantastic. They pretty much will grow most of the time. They don't get too hot. Now, obviously in other areas, most of you have a better garden than I will in Arizona. So, but beets not only help detoxify the liver, but they've also been shown to lower inflammation, and they contain a substance that's a methyl donor. Now, that may not mean much to many of you out there, but what that means in simplicity is that they donate a methyl group that helps you detoxify things like hormones, like excess hormones. So any of you out there that may have hormone-related conditions, PC, PCOS, excessive, any type of menstrual abnormality, people going through menopause, people on hormone replacement. Beets will help, and supporting your liver will help. I'm laughing at a comment, rest and digest, you love when people rhyme. Me too. That was a great one. But they help support all of the detoxification that has to do with hormones in particular. They also help thin your bile, okay, so that you don't get those backups in the liver, okay? Now, how the heck do you incorporate beets into your diet? I personally love to roast them. It kind of takes that dirty flavor away from them. And what's nice about that is you can top it with things. So you could put like a little bit of agave on top, or maple syrup, or you could do a walnut sauce or something. You can kind of hide that flavor. You can mix it in with pastas. You can mix it in with rice and other roasted vegetables. So beets are great roasted. Simple. You just prep them on a sheet, you toss them in the oven, at about 400-ish, 425. And once they're soft, they're done. It's that simple. It's something you can just do and walk away from. There is also beet juice. You can make your own beet juice. You can buy beet juice. It's pretty hardcore when you just drink it straight, but I'll tell you, it tastes pretty good when added to sparkling water. So you can add that to sparkling water. You can even put a little bit of a natural sweetener in there, and you can get your beet juice in that way. Does cooking the beets take away the nutritional benefits? Yes. You know what? Anytime you cook something, it changes some of the makeup of the chemistry, but they're still highly nutritious and definitely supportive to the liver when roasted. So I encourage you to, as long as you can get them in and get some sort of benefit from them, the better, rather than avoiding them altogether. So another one that maybe you haven't heard about are dandelion greens. So the first time, I'll have a funny story. The first time that I heard of dandelion greens, I was in my 20s, and I had a rabbit. Okay, a pet rabbit. I think that one was Pebbles. And the vet said, well, they eat dandelion greens. They love dandelion greens. And my husband and I looked at each other and said, what the heck are dandelion greens? Turns out they're in your grocery store in a huge section. They taste heavenly. They have like this real bitter flavor to them. They're great to add to salads, similar to arugula. You can roast them, you can saute them, or you can just eat them as part of your salad. They will absolutely promote the flow of bile. They have a protective effect. In fact, there was a study in 2017 that showed that the polysaccharides that are in dandelion will protect against Tylenol-induced injury to the liver. Okay, that is a true testament to food as medicine right there. Dandelion greens are easy to use. They act as a diuretic, so they will remove toxins, and those ones actually taste pretty good. Now, with that, you could always add number 3 on the list, which is kale. I think most people by now are familiar with kale. I use kale all the time. It's in a ton of my recipes on my website. But kale and other cruciferous vegetables, so even cauliflower, Brussels sprouts fall into this category, okay? They are shown to increase the detoxification of carcinogens, okay? So they keep your liver clean from potential carcinogens. That's a big deal. They also contain a huge amount of chlorophyll. Okay, so chlorophyll will assist in purifying your blood and keeping the liver function. So kale's easy. Kale chips. There's a great recipe. I'm trying to remember who had it. I want to say it was Forks Over Knives, where you saute the kale in olive oil or in avocado oil, and then you make a walnut sauce. And we're going to talk about walnuts in a second. And you toss it all in, and it is so good. It is so good. But you can add kale to pretty much everything that you make. Another one that you can add to everything, and many of you may be happy that I'm announcing, is garlic. I love garlic. And not only is garlic great for the liver, this is also something to pay attention to in our current times. It is antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. Okay, so anytime you add garlic to something, you're not only protecting your liver, but you're protecting your immune system as well, which is fantastic. Now, there are garlic tinctures out there. I prefer to just add it to everything. Roasting garlic is one of my favorite things to do. And then that soft garlic you can add to pasta dishes. I use a gluten-free pasta, depending on your diet. You can add it to any type of, rice and vegetable mix. Some people spread it on top of bread or crackers. I put it in salad dressings all the time with like apple cider vinegar and avocado oil and garlic and a little bit of tahini, sometimes some lemon juice. You can make it as strong or as minimal as you like according to your taste, but it is incredibly beneficial. And garlic, we're still finding in the grocery store. So that's good. Lastly, I want to talk about walnuts. Probably if I asked all of you what foods would help the liver, I'm guessing that most of you would not say walnut, right? But walnuts not only have been shown to improve liver functioning in those with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but they also have a high amount of amino acids, a high amount of omega-3s, and they've been shown to lower inflammation. Okay, so they are a very powerful tool, easy to stock up on, and you can add them to everything. I think most of the bowls I make at night, most of my dinners, I'm adding some sort of nut to, and I tend to rotate between different types of nuts for different nutritional benefit. Walnuts are in there about 3 to 4 times a week. I did mention earlier the kale dish with a walnut sauce. That's similar to like a cashew sauce where you put the walnuts in a blender with water or with vegetable stock and blend it up, and you can pour it over things. So good. You can add some nutritional yeast. You can add some spices. Keep in mind that you can add spices to everything. And there are so many spices that are so protective to the liver. Curcumin or turmeric is a big one. You can add that to the same salad dressing as the garlic. Just keep in mind that it's orange and it will stain. It'll get all over your fingers. There are also herbs that you can use for liver function. Now, I have to caution that because everyone out there may have a different health history, you may be on medications, I don't want you to add an herb directly or a tincture without speaking to your doctor, because if they support the liver, that means that they could change the way that you absorb your medication. So you would need some alteration in medication. Doesn't mean you can't use them. It just means that you need to use them a little bit differently than other people, okay? But some of those you may have heard of: dandelion root, milk thistle, burdock root. So discuss those with your doctor. I do also have an article at drpingel.com on this exact topic on the liver. But I don't see a better time. We're home. We have a lot of access to some of the vegetables that maybe you don't normally use. So get out there and buy them and try it. And I would love to know how you do with it. So if you can send me a note below here, what you do with dandelion greens, or if you have any great recipes or suggestions for other people, this is a great time for all of us to take stock in our health, pay attention to the food we eat, learn how to eat better. It's always good to learn. And so keep it going. So that is the liver. It is important. Support it. And if you have any questions or comments on any of them, leave them below. And I look forward to speaking to all of you tomorrow about another fantastic subject. So have a great day. Be well. Be safe. Thank you.